Welcome to Half Read, where the books are optional, but the cocktails are required. Today's episode, 50 Shades of Slay, aimed after 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Our cocktail this afternoon or evening, depending on where you are, is the Silver Tie Spritz. It's a sleek, elevated, sexy, and approachable drink.
It's very good.
Vodka, Prosecco, club soda.
One of my favorites.
I think we actually used berry seltzer because we didn't have club soda.
Which actually adds a little bit of flavor to
very
it.
good,
So
yeah.
I think people can choose if they want to put in like
Very
just a
refreshing.
flavored. Yeah.
So
And
good.
as always, the recipe will be on our Instagram and linked in the bio. So enjoy with us. But we are very excited.
I feel like you brought your sexy voice.
we can't help it.
Doesn't
tonight.
help that I have a
love
cold.
Oh, that was well planned.
Right.
Well planned, Meg.
Thank you. I like the doorknob in an airplane just so that I can have
Gotti. That's commitment, girl.
Yeah.
You know?
I take one for the team, guys. But
50 Shades of Slay
50
tonight.
Shades of Slay. I gotta lick a doorknob somewhere. I don't know. Oh my gosh. So if you hear me like coughing or Leia sneezing, just know it's that time of year, guys. But
'Tis the season.
the reality is, the theme for today is, you're all familiar with 50 Shades of Grey. Everybody's read the book or seen the movie, or maybe you've seen both.
Or
have
done
strong
neither.
opinions.
That's okay too. I've done
Or
neither.
you're like Lisa, where
Yep.
you've done neither, which is also fine. The theme is really about power. Ultimately, power in your life, power in relationships and decision making, fantasy. What do we want? And the blurred lines between empowerment, let's be honest, a little bit of cliche,
Yes.
right? So, owning ambition, redefining our success, dare I say, sexuality, and our agency on our own terms. So, let's get started with a little bit of, I think, debate potentially on why women's fantasies are often shamed or minimized or maybe even mocked compared to men's.
Oh, definitely.
Who wants to start with that one?
Well, let's start off
With-
by just quickly saying how uncomfortable
Lisa and Leia are.
2/3 of us are.
For the record, I'm fine. It's fine.
We were literally having a discussion, right, before about like,
oh my gosh, I can't believe
we got to
we
talk
have to
about this.
And I think it's you're right. It's pointing to say that because is that part of
Yes.
how we've even been programmed to be like, oh, you shouldn't be talking about this. What do you mean you have these fantasies and these thoughts and being a powerful woman in any setting, it's uncomfortable. If that's been the culture that you've been around and kind of raised and seen in your life, so it is. This is going to probably be the most kind of uncomfortable sharing. I think that I have had, and Lisa, you talked about it too, and I think that that's important to bring up because I'm sure we're not alone in that, and that's in fact why we're talking about this, right?
It's something that people don't want to talk about.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think the reality of all of this conversation, though, and, I did actually read the book when it came out because it was like hot topic, hot take when it came out. And I think what struck me about it was, aside from the extremely poor writing, it was so badly written.
Oh, dear.
And I didn't even bother to watch the movie because what I had heard it was kind of the same situation, but was the fact that it seemed like it was often framed as a story about sexual dominance and like someone caving to someone giving in to someone, being subversive or submissive. That's the word I'm looking for. But underneath it was really about just a true power dynamic, right? And where do you think women are still taught to be subtle or polite with our power, even when we're fully capable of owning the room? And I asked that question because you walk into a meeting in your office and you've got how many men sitting there, and you walk in like a boss ass bitch and you take everything over. But that's the thing. It's like you own that power dynamic. How many meetings, Lise, did you run where you walked into the room and you were it?
Yeah.
You were the person that was running that meeting, that was on the hook for all of it. I mean, I've led similar meetings where you walk in and you are fully capable of owning the room. So why do we feel the need to be subtle or polite or grateful for the opportunity?
Because I feel like we're being judged. I feel like we're always being judged.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I think that is because the way that we grew up and what we've been, taught or what we've experienced or seen from, maybe the women in our lives. So at least it is for me. I think, sometimes it's just an uncomfortableness, and it's like, you're just, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're kind of putting yourself out there, and you're feeling judged, and you're feeling like, am I doing it right? Or if I'm in this position, and like, I got to make sure that, everybody understands or respects me in this position, or I'm like owning this position in order to justify being in this position.
Yeah. No, I absolutely. And I mean, society's, biases and levels of discrimination and all of those things. I mean, listen, I'm a Black female physician, and when I walk into the room, I'm a nurse. I could have doctor on my coat, and they will always assume that I'm the nurse. Often,
Tell me where they are, and I'll beat the crap out of them.
No, and listen to all the nurses out there. Not that it's any form of insult, but at the same time, when you look at the structure of how it operates in a medical setting, right? Orders come from the physician, and so to this day, that is still. I think oftentimes, even if it's either in person or also when I'm speaking on the phone, I've had, and my partner is a male physician, and he always jokes when we're on call, he's like, yep, my patient spoke to you and they were happy to talk to the nurse. They said she was so nice, and again, I think that because of that, as much as you expect it, I always want to be careful to feel like I need to overcompensate for what I assume people are thinking, right? And I don't want to assume those biases and that type of discrimination to just always assume I'm in a different role other than being the leadership role and being the person in power. Because what often happens when a woman asserts herself too much, especially in a place of work, a place of power, what is she?
A bitch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
it's
absolutely true.
Totally.
I mean, we could have all said it together the way that we
Yeah.
did. I think every woman out there who's ever been in a place of power, leadership, if you show dominance, if you are that is what you are.
Yeah.
And so trying to face that and find balance in showing up and being what you're supposed to be in a dominant role. It's really challenging. I think to this day I've been in attending for 15 years and I'm still working through it.
Yeah. I've always found it challenging, especially for me being somebody who I look young. I've always looked young. I still look young, even though I'm
bitch.
Yeah, Lisa.
Rubbing in. That's cool.
So beautiful, of course.
No, but
it's just the gift.
Hey, listen, it's the hand that I was dealt. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember when I was younger, I used to be frustrated with that and struggle with that because I felt like once I had graduated college, I feel like people still saw me as somebody who was either still in college or even still in high school at that time, because I just had a younger look to me. And it wasn't until I feel like I would engage in conversation with people at work where I think based off of the conversation and seeing the intellect there, they were, okay, she's not young, but I think that's like a snap judgment that people sometimes do. And I feel like that has kind of grown, within my career. I've always felt that. So I've always felt like I tried to come to the table with a little bit of that more stern kind of dominance, trying to kind of make people respect. Because I feel like I already knew people had that snap judgment. I've had people say it to me, like at work before, where, kind of throws you off, like, I don't know how old you are, but, and it's like, wow, did somebody really just say that to me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm probably older than you, or
Yeah.
I'm just your same age as you. And
And why people
what does
even
that
feel they
matter?
need
Why
to
do you need to say
exactly.
that? Like,
I know.
and
No, I
it was
know.
more of like, I felt like they were trying to maybe assert their dominance. And it was like, okay, that's fine if that's how you want to play this. But okay. It's just, I don't know. You kind of go through life, sometimes with those, a little bit of that chip on your shoulder. I think you get to a certain age where you kind of, start to kind of whatever, I don't even care anymore.
Right.
But it's tough during those years where it kind of dominates you.
Yeah.
What about you, Meg? I mean, I know
think
you're
we've
in
labeled
those.
that fucking
Yes.
previously. Yeah.
Fucking.
Several times. It's funny. I find it really fascinating because I think in real life, especially in leadership.
So, yeah, I forgot to mute the non-channel.
Oh, no worries.
No worries, yeah.
Hey guys, guess what?
We're
Forgot to mute
live.
the
We're
non-channel.
real.
Hey.
If it was fuzzy for the first 10 minutes, sorry about that.
That's quite all right. It was just me accidentally heavily breathing. Anyway, with my cold. No, I was going to say, I find it fascinating, like in real life, especially when you think about leadership, right? We all have leadership in our respective roles. We're often expected to lead, but without really appearing to lead and without being overt about it. And it's almost like we have to soften the edges of whatever authority we may have just to make other people feel comfortable with that authority. And it's interesting because I feel like, this book exaggerates power, right? Like someone just totally gives power away and someone just totally takes power. And, how do we ask for what we want without being labeled too much, to your point, Lise?
Right.
It's like, if you're too assertive, if you're too dominant, then you're a bitch. And if you're not, then you're, what was the word my dad used to use? Casper Milquetoast. I don't even know who that is. It was like a nondescript senator, apparently, who just gave, I don't even know the history, but my dad used to use that all the time. Basically, it means somebody who rolls over for whatever reason. Like, you don't put up a fight whatsoever.
Yep.
And that's none of us. Like, of course, we're going to put up a fight. Of course, we're going to not exert dominance. And that's never even the goal. It's more just about, can we just exhibit our proficiency?
Just doing your job.
Do our freaking job.
Yeah. Literally, that's sometimes it's like all we want to do.
Exactly.
I just want to do my job, and I don't want to, and I don't always get it right, and you know what I mean? Like
just as our male counterparts, right? It's the same thing for them, and yet they do not have to think of coming that way, right? I shouldn't assume. Maybe they do.
I don't know.
But I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Well, I think that there's more that we have to think about
than
I think they have to think about, unfortunately.
I mean, okay, so an example, right? In a couple of weeks, we have our big national meeting, and I'm going to be giving like a stage address in front of about 500 or 550 people. And my new team is in, and I'm guiding the whole meeting, and it's going to be just a lot of like me talking in front of people. And there's all of these meetings that are set up to like prepare and run through the stage time and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I don't mean to sound like a jerk because no, hell yes, I'll be nervous. But I'm going to be okay because I have confidence in what I know I'm going to say, what I've planned, what I've thought about, and the message I want to deliver. I don't need somebody to tell me at the last minute, 2 seconds before I go on stage, like, hey, guess what? Maybe you want to change what you're going to say. Because that would screw me up. Like, I feel like I'm okay. Like, I'm in a good spot. And those are the moments where it's like we have to just have that internal self-worth and that internal self-importance and recognition of everything Lise you bring, everything Leia you bring, like what you guys do on a daily basis, like all of this stuff, it's worth a lot.
Yeah.
And so how do we recognize that? But I think, okay, so another question. Clearly, one of the themes of 50 Shades of Grey is just pure straight up desire, right? Like it's very carnal, very sexual, but there's a lot of shame involved in like the underplay, right? The undercurrent is a lot about shame. And I think, this actually leads back to the question that you asked, Lise, which was, do you think women are conditioned? Do you think we as women are conditioned to want only things that are considered quote unquote acceptable for us to want? Can we want the corner office? Can we want Bless you.
Thank you.
Can we want to have it all? Or are we always shamed because, oh, gee, I was in Chicago for work and I missed one of my kids' hockey games, or you missed a soccer game or a basketball game, or any of the things like that we're shamed for quite often for pursuing our careers.
Yeah.
Unapologetically, dare I say.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's such a great, important point. I think so many women can relate to, you call it mom guilt, you call it, whatever you'd like. But and I think in everything that we're talking about, whether it is professional, relationship, sexuality, you're so right that there's so much of a need for us to quiet our desires. And when we don't, if we make it too loud, somehow we need to be apologetic about it if we're coming at it too boldly. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. Mm-hmm. We really do. So I think that, why does that happen again? I think it's just society and just the way our cultures have molded us to think that we're just not supposed to speak up about those things. And even if we do, we're at the very least supposed to do it quietly, almost trying to be invisible while still leaving a mark. Yeah. So it's exhausting. It is, I think, really, because the thing is that the things that we desire and as I just said, for some of the things, if we look at, the desires of within our families and our relationships, like there are our counterparts who are also benefiting from those desires that we have, and we're sharing it together, whether it is relationships, sexually, all of these things. I mean, our male or other counterparts are wanting those things too, and enjoying them, yet we should be quiet about it. It's challenging to try and balance those type of expectations, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
What about you?
Yeah.
Lisa.
Expectantly waiting.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard topic.
I feel like there's too many parameters.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people feel that way. It's, like, do it like this, or, don't do it like that, or, be a little bit more bold, no, you got to pull back. Like, I feel like there's too many people judging, and I do feel from a woman perspective that a lot of women create, I think, the issues that other women feel. More so, that this is just my feeling, but more so than from the men's side. Like, I feel like it's, I don't know, women are always like kind of trying to one up, like sometimes in the, in the work environment, or trying to, put somebody else down in order to get where they need to be. At least that's, sometimes been my experience. And, I find it easier sometimes to deal with my male counterparts than, my female counterparts, because I feel like I don't feel as judged, I think, in that arena than I do in the other arena.
Yeah.
So, but
that's an interesting point. So, if you think about the female bosses you've had versus the male bosses you've had, right? If I'm hearing you the right way, sometimes you feel more supported, more able to move forward under the supervision of a male boss than a female boss. One might,
I say that lightly a little bit because I think it's been more, at least for me, it's been more 50-50.
Has it? Okay.
But I probably had more male bosses than female. But I definitely feel more supported.
I'd say, but because I agree, is that in my experience, especially when I was a resident, asserting myself as a physician to female nurses versus male nurses always was easier with male nurses. Always. 100% of the time.
Right?
I often felt the need to prove myself
with
the female nurses
the word. Yeah.
in comparison to the male nurses who just by my credentials, they took the orders and were ready to, I don't want to say fall in line by any means because we're a team, but there was more difficulty. And when I watched from the outside of how they would interact with my male counterparts, male residents, there was not the same hesitation to allow the male residents to assert themselves. So no, and I know that I could speak to my female co-residents who had the same experience, and I don't know what that, I think it's all part of the cultural, societal, expectation that, why are you, as you say, everyone is thinking it. Everyone is having that idea of asserting herself. Who does she think she is, and why would she move in that way, or that the first thing I said, who does she think she is, and why do we have that question for a woman who has clearly already proven herself? Why do we have those questions to the desires of women, of why are you feeling this way, or why? I mean, these are we were innately given these thoughts and desires, and through, whether it's innate or whether it's through our studies, through our professions, through our whatever it may be, why are we being held to a different standard? I guess is always the question.
It's a great question. And I also think about like how ambition works, right? And I think female ambition works a lot the same way. So women can hunger for more success, more money, more intensity, more freedom across the board, right? A Mustang GT with 480 horsepower. You can always hunger for more. Then when you start it, it goes.
Meg just bought a new car. Huh?
So exciting. It's beautiful, you guys.
I've been waiting 50 years for this. And it's used, by the way, but it's mine. So, and it's going to go really fast. I'm very excited for it. But at the end of the day, like, why do I feel like I have to justify? I wanted it. I bought it.
Well, exactly.
And I love the freaking thing, and it's what I wanted. And thank goodness somehow I have the means to do it, because everybody else is satisfied first. My kids have everything they need. I've paid for college for my oldest one, right? Like, every bill is paid. And why do I still feel a little bit guilty buying a used car for myself?
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't.
But I do. But I honestly do.
Right. That's just part of it.
But what I was saying is, like, in our lives, like, okay, even no matter what we achieve, like, even this, if I can even buy this silly car that's going to make me happy, midlife crisis car, call it what you will, like, why do I have to call it that? Why do I have to apologize for it? And I think that's the same. It's like in meetings, like, someone's like, oh, nice job. You're like, oh, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. Like, why do we have to disguise our ambition with gratitude? Like, oh, thank you so much for your compliment. Oh my goodness, no, it was nothing, I didn't do it. Bullshit. I worked my ass off. You know what I mean? Leia, was med school easy? I'm sure it wasn't. You know what I mean? You're like, no, bullshit. Yeah. I earned this. Yeah. I mean, Lisa, same for you. It's like all the schooling, all the education, all the time that we've spent achieving in our careers. I've invested 25 years in a career right now. And probably, if anybody's listening out there, I know my cousin Matt is. Thank you, Matt. I love you. But they all know, like, last year was a setback for me from a career perspective, and you guys were there to support me in it, and I'm rebounding from that. And I've realized that my self-worth is not proscribed to me, or my worth, I should say, is not proscribed to me by an organization that I'm working for. Yeah. It is my own definition of what I'm worth. And, I know I can do so much more in life, right? But when you get something, a bone thrown your way, or, praise for a meeting, or you have a great meeting that goes the way you want it to go and you get what you want. Oh, I'm so thankful for your time. Oh, thank you so much for spending time with me on Friday night at 6 p.m. Like, no joke, that was last night, right? And I literally am like, no, I was lucky enough to have a great team, and we planned effectively, and we got the result that we like actually looking for. But we're like, oh, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for staying late with us on Friday night. No, like, you did the right thing. You signed off on what we wanted you to sign off on. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to, I'm going to start to sound like a jerk when I say these things, but
no.
Like there's a line between gratitude and actually like understanding that you deserve what you get when good things come your way. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when bad things come your way, you don't deserve that either. Mm-hmm. It's just a happenstance.
Yeah. I hear you.
You know, listening to us, though, you might be like, with what I'm about to say, but I do want to flip the script a little bit, and maybe this is the complexity. Sex? Well,
yeah.
No, Meg.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Lisa and I are in every way trying to keep this away from that.
And that's exactly why I did what I just did.
Meg,
which I have to say, if we did not have these microphones here, I think it would be so much easier to like talk about it. But it's like, I think in my head, it's knowing that we're putting this out there.
Yeah.
I think that's where
I think it's hysterical that you guys are
sensitive.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're even saying that. I'm bringing it because you know what?
Deep breath.
This is the other thing about it. I mean, Lisa and I started this talking about how, you know, maybe we're not totally, you know, wanting or ready to be so out there from a sexual standpoint, or what I'm getting to is for all those women out there who are also gentle and quiet and maybe have a more quiet power, that's okay too.
Yeah.
I want to say that side of it as well. And I think that's the complexity and the absolute beauty of a woman as well.
Well
that
said.
I think that we have this, you know, quiet, gentle, dare I say, sexy way about us of being assertive and strong and supportive and comforting. Mm-hmm. And it's a quiet strength that I've seen in my mom, my sister, my friends sitting in front of me, you know, and I think that we also don't have to apologize for that either. It's okay to be both, and society needs to start learning to deal with that. Again, in the workplace, deal with that all the time, that as soon as I begin to, you know, if I get upset about something, oh, is Dr. Insmerser Minds in a bad mood? No, you did something wrong. Mm-hmm. Right? Just because for the most part I'm gentle and kind and I joke and I love to see smiles on my team's face doesn't mean I'm not ready to correct you when the time comes, because that's the leadership role I hold. Just because I walk in the room and as a patient we're usually, you know, as they might say, shooting the S-H-I-T. Right? We're shooting it back and forth. Say it for me, Max.
That would be shit, for the record.
Right? We're maybe not, but this time you didn't take your message.
Really?
This time you did.
I feel like that in itself felt a little. I'm just saying. Say it for me.
On the sexy tip. But you know, I walk in a room and oh, it's Dr. Why are we not just chatting this time? Because we have to talk about the fact you haven't been taking your medication. Yeah. And you're yelling at me. There was no raising of my voice. Mm-hmm. Just because I have to be serious now is because the situation calls for it. Yeah. And I think that's, you know, the beauty of female leadership.
Yeah. You know what always bothered me too was when people say like, oh, well, I'm in trouble, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, we're not 12.
Thank you.
Like, why do you think you're in trouble?
Yes.
You know, no, you didn't do your job right, or this isn't what I expected, or this isn't, you know, hitting the mark. But I always found it odd, and, you know, more so with people who were older, when they would be like, oh, you know, you don't want to say that, you know, you don't want to get in trouble or whatever. It's like, oh my God. It's like,
absolutely.
Like, I just never understood that mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. Calling people out to be accountable is like, not.
No, it's,
you know,
sorry, but
you have to do it sometimes.
I think there's ways to do it too.
Sure.
Right? Like ways to do it in a safe environment versus making people feel like crap
Oh,
when
yeah,
you call them out
absolutely.
for something, right? And I think that's part of this whole, we've gone through so many trainings lately and like making people feel safe. And I think you either intrinsically have it or you have to work at it. And sometimes when you work at it too hard, it can come off as disingenuous, right? So things that I think we do, ultimately, it's almost like you give someone that benefit of the doubt. And when someone says like, oh, we're going to get in trouble for this, like, why do you feel like that?
Right.
What would make you think that you're going to, and what is your definition of trouble?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's variable definitions of trouble, I think, in industry. But
and what is the alternative you want from me if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
What I'm not supposed to call it out. We're not supposed to speak about it. What do you want here, right? So,
I have to say, I think that some of the sensitivity training stuff that has been going on.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
guys.
Do you need tissue?
No. Be like my kids. Sniff it up. It's fine.
Oh God. But what I was saying was that I just feel that some of the sensitivity stuff that has been going on over the past however long. Yes, I do think that is needed for a lot of people, and I think it's very healthy and it's good. But part of me also feels it's a lot, and sometimes I think it's a little bit over the top, because then it just becomes about, instead of you're doing that job wrong, it comes about me having to talk about the feelings about that and having to make sure that everybody is feeling okay. And sometimes I think it's just okay to say this is wrong. And this is what needs to be done. Yep. And yes, obviously in a good way that helps it along, but sometimes
not everything
I
has
feel
to have an emotion attached
exactly
to it.
It's the emotional piece. Sometimes like work, sometimes it's you need to sometimes remove the emotion out of it, and sometimes you just need to do your job and get it done. And it's not about being getting in trouble, whatever. It's about like just this is what you were hired to do, this is what needs to be done, and we have to be sometimes remove that emotional piece of it, from both sides. You can't always be so sensitive about everything that is said, and it just is what it is.
Have you done strength finders? Either one of you?
Don't know what that is.
Okay. You guys and those of you listening, we need to do this. Totally need to do this. So I've done strength finders. It's a self-assessment. It's online. You go on, you buy the book, and you go in and you do, ironically, you buy the book. You don't have to read it. Just go on and do the self-assessment. And it ends up telling you, what your colors are. Okay. And, red is directive, aggressive, get shit done. Blue is your analytical, your thoughtful, your contemplative. Green is your emotion, your ability to relate. And then yellow is I always think of it as you want to be everybody's friend, right? It's you're congenial, what have you. My strength finders came back, and every time I do it, it's exactly the same. I am red, blue, green, and then there's a line, which basically all three show up as being pretty much equal, but they're in that order. And then below the line, meaning of the least importance and separated far enough, was my yellow. So it's interesting to me because I don't think of myself as directive, whatever, aggressive. But in work, in sports, in everything I've achieved, in school even, I'm nope, I gotta get my shit done. I gotta get this done. You're not gonna get in my way. I gotta make this happen. And then I'm analytical at the same time. So it's I'm a driver. I want to get it done, but I'm going to think about what's going to get done. And the green is I'm actually going to care about what happens when it gets done to the people, right, that I'm working with and what have you. And the last part is I really don't need to be your friend. Yes. I'm not there for that. Yes. Yeah. I'm there to take care of you and to make sure the work gets done and it's done the right way. It's very interesting. And I think if we did some sort of offline kind of assessment for us, I think the three of us are maybe different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know about you guys, but I felt that within my career things had shifted. Sorry, I hit my mic because I'm moving my hands, but I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. But it shifted when I had my son.
Yeah.
I felt like, pre my son, it was, I was more of the, wanting to be friendly about, make the friends, with everybody you work with and all of that. And I felt like when I had my son, it literally became, all right, I have to work. I'm going to go to work. I just want to do my job, and then I want to go home.
Yeah.
I don't want to, if I'm going to stand here and have a conversation with you, then I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
I could leave and go home and spend it with my son and my family.
Yep.
I don't know why that shifted, but I felt like it just completely shifted. And my whole outlook on just working changed from that point. And I feel like that's kind of now how I operate, which is more of like, just want to go in, get stuff done, be task focused, and when I'm done, I want to get home, and I want to get home to my family and enjoy my life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know if that shifted with you guys. I don't know if a lot of people, have that shift. I feel like a lot of people do. Maybe it's not so much when they have kids. Maybe it's as they get older. I don't know, but it's interesting.
I once saw a meme, like a video of a guy getting into his car. He was like, "I leave for work to go home like I'm late for home." I need to get there as quickly as possible. And absolutely, I feel the same way. But yeah, I think it's really interesting in terms of kind of the emotional shifts that can happen just in people in general, but obviously as women, when we thinking about us as women, how that shift might affect us and how people look at us. And I think that society in general, and maybe it is true that women, and you guys, what do you guys think, are women more emotional? Or do we have a more, greater variety of emotion, whether, in relationships, intimacy, in our profession, and to our benefit, to our disadvantage, what do you guys think? Is that part of why people judge us the way that they do? And even is that part of why maybe you have that shift from a career standpoint, that going back to that mom guilt, right? Is that mom guilt attached to that, some of that emotion that we have, and is that part of the judgment that we receive? I don't know.
I think we definitely place some of our own burdens on ourselves in terms of the way that we
absolutely.
judge.
I think sometimes we're talking about it, and I think a lot of the judgment comes from ourselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're even cognizant. Do you think men sit back and they're like, do you think the other guys in the office think I'm a good dad? Do you think they think I spend enough time with my kids?
I can tell you my husband is not thinking about, well, although maybe he might actually, if you knew my husband.
Jay actually does.
Yeah.
But I think Jason does. But I don't know what that noise is. Is someone rooting through the freezer?
Yeah.
Probably Kieran's going for an ice cream bar. Sorry, guys. That's real life. Anyway, no, but at the end of the day, like, I think there's very few men. There are some that are outliers, right? We speak sometimes in generalities. Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, there's not a bunch of guys sitting around in the boardroom going like, do you think Todd thinks I'm a good dad? Yeah, Chad, I totally think that Todd thinks you're a good dad. You know what I mean? Like, those are, I don't think that's a part of that narrative for them at all. And I think that's where we have our own self-imposed rules and regulations. Like, I chastise myself when my flight is delayed coming home and I miss my daughter's hockey game.
Yeah, because you had so much control
stupid,
over that.
Like, why didn't you? Yeah, but like, oh God, maybe I could have left a little bit sooner if I'd have finished that meeting, or why didn't I have the balls to say no to attend that meeting? I could have just said, nope, can't make it. But because of the powers that be, I felt the need to be there, right? Like, all of these pressures that we have. So that brings me to another really fun topic, and it's one of my favorites. Jay always laughs at me, but he's such a kind man. I'm always like, do you understand the concept of mental load? I'm like, think about the 75 million freaking things going on in anyone's head at any given moment, and that's your mental load. Yeah. Like, you wake up in the morning, you got to make coffee, you got to feed the cat, you got to take the trash out, you got to empty the dishwasher, you got to make sure this happened, that happened. Oh, did you take the laundry out of the dryer last night? No. All right. Are the kids up for school? You got to drive one to school, you got to make the others lunch, you got to do all these different things. And that's before 8 a.m. Mm-mm. Right? And you think about, like, when we're at work, what are the other things we're thinking about? Oh, did the kids get home from school? Okay. Oh, did they have a snack? Oh, geez, did he remember to take the Advil because his knee's been swollen and he's going to basketball practice? And like all these other things.
Power school inevitably sends you some grade.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, shoot, because I didn't check his ELA homework last night and now he's missing something. You're exactly
it's constant.
Right.
It's like
it's a just swirling, ticking clock in my head that I can't shut off. And like,
and then at nighttime, you're trying to go to bed, and you're like laying there,
and then you add on menopause or perimenopause, and you're screwed. You can't sleep. So Jay, the one night he goes, and I'll just give an example. He's like, "Babe, do you want me to make dinner?" Like
hell yeah,
maybe that would be great. Like I'm stuck in the office until at least 6:30. Like if you could do that, that would be wonderful. I'd be really, really grateful. Thank you. And he's like, okay, well, what do you want me to make?
I knew it. I knew I could have said it. Yeah. I could have said, then the question that is the whole frustration
of
making meals is thinking about it.
It's thinking about it. It's the shopping for the stuff. And I was like, I can't think about it. I'm like, can you just look in the pantry or order? I don't care. Order pizza. I don't care. Just figure it out, please.
I can't even tell you how many stories I could give you.
Yes. Then they come walking in like, should I defrost the pork chops?
Like, can you please figure that out?
In 1/3 of the time.
I don't want to be involved.
So I'm going to go, I'm going to go get dinner. So what do you want? Or what time do you think I should go get? Like, oh my God.
Nope.
You can do this.
Mine now.
I promise you.
Like I know I knew that was
like,
coming.
Please make a decision.
It's all with the greatest of intent.
Absolutely. God bless them.
But just a poor execution. And maybe here's the other side of the question. I've actually thought this about myself, or am I just that much of a control freak where I've trained him to be like, well, what do you want? What should I do?
Yes. Well, I think there's a little bit of that too, that they're trying to please and they want to make sure that they're doing.
Yes.
But sometimes it's like when you send them off for an errand and the phone is just blowing up with questions about things. You're just like, can you just make a decision? Please don't send me photos from the grocery store of like different brands that like.
Do you want the number 8 or the number 10 spaghetti? I just want spaghetti. I don't care.
Brand?
Yeah.
What brand?
You can do it.
Like,
Barilla.
Yeah. I have a question. What about the whole fix him? Right? Because I do believe that was a little bit of a part of the 50 Shades of Grey, right? Like I feel like I'd never have seen a man looking to try to fix or change a woman. I mean, I say that, in general, but I mean, we're always trying to, fix or the stories, right? That we always see out there, always, about trying to fix them and make them better because they came from something broken and all of that. And, it's like, becomes like this challenge and all of that, right? But I never see it going the other way.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Or there's not a lot of, I don't know, maybe movies out there or books out there, maybe there are because I don't read them, that do go the other way. Mm-hmm. And why do we always feel that? Why do we always feel like we have to fix everything?
Yeah.
Or fix him or make things better or right? I stumped you.
I wonder if it has to do with expectation.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we enter into a relationship expecting, and so here's a real deal. Like I think about my daughter right now. And I see all these things on Instagram and Facebook about like passenger princess and all this stuff. And these women are like getting in their car and their husband or boyfriend is like laid out some sort of like foam furry seat for them and has like glittery shit on their seatbelt and like snacks and drinks and like this whole, look it up, it's called Passenger Princess.
Oh my God.
Like, do we expect this shit? Like, no, I want to drive. I'm not going to be eating snacks and watching my iPad. Thank you. I'll be driving.
It's safe to say that those women are probably not listening to us.
Not to disparage it, because man, there's days I want to be a passenger princess all day long.
But
the
that's
thing
the
is, like,
fantasy.
do you have?
That's your fantasy. But
Do
is
you
your
have the
fantasy always your
expectation of that,
reality?
I guess is the question, right? Like, what is your expectation? Is your expectation to be treated like the queen of the hill? Oh no, what's it?
But I think our fantasy is that, though. I think
Analogy
we
I'm looking
want,
for.
like, ultimately, oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
taken
Do I
care of.
really want that? Probably not.
No, I want a partner.
Yeah.
'Cause that would drive me
Yeah.
crazy. But I do feel like people, we have those dreams and fantasies of everything being perfect and laid out for us.
Yeah.
But I don't really want that.
No, and I think that as I've gotten older, and so I think with maturity, I feel like, and I don't mean to say it in that way, but for me personally, as I've matured, there's been less of fix him and more of focus of fix myself.
Yeah.
Because I've been more, I've been
Totally.
much more comfortable to assert what I need. And at times, and most times, it's about me figuring that out. And when I'm doing it, I feel like, certainly my partner, I have my husband, it almost is just automatic that he does it with me.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that that's a partnership. And I think when I feel like when I've matured to this level and with the experiences, that is a happy place that I've come to. That it wasn't about fixing him. It was about knowing what I wanted and understanding the ways I can just assert myself, being comfortable in doing that.
Well, is
and
Communication.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, is that the confusion maybe for the youngs? That they're always trying to fix things, but that's just because they don't really know who they are yet.
Yeah. I do think so. I think that's what it was
It's
for
very
me.
possible. Yeah.
Because I was very much a fix it.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
sure.
I was early too.
Control and fix it.
Yeah, I was too. And then I literally, this was maybe, I don't even know, 5 months ago, I had a conversation with Jay, and I was like, when he was asking me like, babe, I want to help you, how can I make dinner? And I was like, yes, make dinner, thank you, God. And then he asked me 700 questions. And I answered all of his questions, and we got through the night, and then I think we were laying in bed that night, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bring something up to you that's going to seem like really super weird, but I want to have this conversation with you because I want you to understand like what goes through my head, because I don't want to be the psycho bitch that's thinking all these things and then never says anything. And then there is resentment that's breeded, and it's not his fault if I don't tell him what's going on, right? Like it's actually my fault, and that's a intrinsic part of me. It's like, okay, if I hold you to this standard, I have to at least communicate the standard. I think to your point, Lise. Yeah. And it's not necessarily standard, excuse me, in what I'm talking about, but I literally told him, I'm like, all right, here's the concept of mental load, and here's what it means. And here's like the 70 things that I do before 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I have my full work day. And then I'm stressed about getting Marin to hockey and Kieran there and back to make dinner and do all these things and blah, 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 and this and that. Prepare my slides for the next day and getting all this stuff done. And he just sat there and he listened to me, and he's like, okay, I got you. He's like, I understand. And I can't tell you how many times over the last few months where he's literally said to me, like, I've been freaking out about something. And he's like, babe, I got you. I'm like, no, but you understand, like, this has to happen at 4:10, and then that's got to happen, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, Megs, you wrote it on the calendar. He's like, I got it. Trust me. And I'm like, okay. Like dinners, haven't had to tell him what to buy. Haven't had to tell him, like, how to make it, what time to have it ready. He figures it out. And he literally said to me, like, a couple weeks ago, he's like, babe, I got you. He's like, I understand the mental load.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like, holy shit balls, this is great. Like, I have the best guy on earth. He kind of is awesome, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, like, it's that understanding and having the ability to say, okay, we've been taught a lot of boundaries, right? Not to say what we can't do, not to say what we're afraid to do, and not to really share like who we actually are sometimes. And I think at almost 50, I'm finding the place in my life where I can be like, listen, dude, like when you ask me what I want for dinner or if you can help me with dinner and I'm like, you can do it, you need to just do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're having those conversations. It's not disrespect at all. And I think he actually appreciates that clarity of where I'm like, no, when I say you've got the ball, man, you call the ball.
Yeah.
Land the plane. Do it. It's all you. And I trust it and you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I think we should end there. I think we should end on a good note, on a good story.
Yeah.
And
I think in what you just, even that story that you talked about, it's about, you know, being able to assert yourself and you know, knowing that you can be in a place of giving direction, but also being okay to let go, to let others and let your partner sometimes take the reins.
Let go of the control. And
Yep. Punch the microphone.
Punch the microphone. Sorry, I gotta hold my hands.
Hopefully that's in the blooper reel, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So I just have one thing left to say, or I think there's just one thing left to say.
Yes.
Until next week, ladies, keep your standards high.
Yeah.
Keep your cocktails cold. And keep your life unapologetically yours.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening to us. We so appreciate the followership we've got so far. This is Half Red.
Books optional.
Cocktails required.